Welcome back to the channel Liberty Coin Value. Today we are about to embark on a journey that will truly blow your mind. Imagine a tiny copper coin, a simple 1-cent piece, that today holds a jaw-dropping market value of $776 million. Yes, you heard it right. Today we are talking about the fascinating story of the 1988 United States Liberty 1-cent coin. Stay with me till the end, because you do not want to miss the secret behind its astronomical value, the hidden history, and why collectors are going absolutely wild over it. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's jump right into this mesmerizing story of numismatic magic. Let's rewind time back to 1988. The United States was a nation full of promise and change. Ronald Reagan was finishing his presidency, the Cold War tensions were easing, and technology was quietly setting the stage for the revolution that would change the world forever. In the midst of all this, the United States Mint continued its long-standing tradition of producing the beloved Lincoln cent. The 1988 Liberty 1-cent coin might seem like just another penny, but it was far more special than it appeared at first glance. Officially, it was still part of the Lincoln cent series, featuring the timeless portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, first designed by Victor David Brenner to commemorate Lincoln's birthday. However, something unique happened in 1988 that would set a few coins apart forever. The obverse featured Lincoln's stoic and wise profile, facing right. Above him, the proud words "I in God we trust," and to the right, the date 1988. Some coins bore the small D Mint mark, representing the Denver Mint, while others were struck at the Philadelphia Mint without a mark. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stood tall and proud, an emblem of American resilience, with the inscriptions Pluribus Unum, meaning out of many, 1.at the bottom, the denomination 1c. But here's where things get really fascinating. In 1988, during the minting process, a rare error slipped through undetected by the Mint's quality control. This error, known today as the 1988 wide AM reverse or the reverse of error, occurred when a reverse die meant for the following year was mistakenly used on some 1988 cents. This reverse die featured subtle but significant differences: a slight spacing between the A and M in America, crisper, more detailed designs, enhanced features around the Lincoln Memorial columns. Only a handful of these error coins made it out into circulation, unnoticed by millions of Americans handling change daily. At first, they were just another penny spent at grocery stores, dropped in vending machines, or lost between sofa cushions. But decades later, collectors discovered the anomaly, and when they did, the race to find these precious coins began. And thus, the legend of the 1988 Liberty 1-cent error coin was born. Today, the finest examples of the 1988 Liberty 1-cent coin, especially the ones featuring the rare wide AM variety and pristine uncirculated candidate perfect, high-grade specimen with this rare reverse error, can set the auction house floors ablaze, attracting fierce bidding wars among collectors, museums, and private investors. In fact, in one astonishing event, a nearly flawless 1988 wide AM cent sold privately for a staggering price, pushing the value estimate of the best surviving specimens upwards towards $776 million collectively in today's market. You might be wondering, how can a tiny copper coin, weighing only grams, be worth more than luxury mansions, private islands, or even small countries? Here's why: extreme rarity. Only a few exist in perfect condition. Historic error: a mint mistake that connects two different coin designs across 2 years. Cultural value: it captures a piece of American history during a transformative time. Collector frenzy: there's a feverish demand for error coins among elite collectors. In the rare coin market, rarity, condition, and historical significance are the pillars that support incredible prices, and the 1988 Liberty 1-cent coin checks every single box. Before we go deeper, let's take a moment to honor the long, rich history behind the Lincoln cent itself. Introduced in the Lincoln cent, replaced the Indian head cent and became the first circulating American coin to feature a real historical figure instead of symbolic imagery. Victor David Brenner's portrait of Lincoln was inspired by a plaque he had created earlier in Lincoln's honor. The design choice was deeply symbolic. It represented honesty, leadership, resilience, values Americans admired and aspired to, especially in turbulent times. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent saw several changes. The reverse was changed from the wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial to honor the th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The coin's composition shifted from solid copper to a copper-plated zinc core due to rising copper prices. By 1988, the cent had become an everyday fixture in American life, but few could have predicted that some would later achieve celebrity status among collectors. Fast forward to today. The 1988 Liberty 1 cent coin is among the most sought-after coins in the entire numismatic world. Top coin grading agencies like PCGS and NGC have authenticated only a handful of pristine wide AM examples, making them ultra-rare. Collectors who understand the value of history, rarity, and perfect condition are willing to pay fortunes to own one. Some auctions have seen bids starting at hundreds of thousands of dollars and climbing rapidly, especially for coins graded MS or M red, meaning mint state, with full original red luster and no visible flaws. The buzz is so strong that even circulated examples, pennies with scratches, wear, and tear, have been known to sell for thousands of dollars. Imagine finding one of these treasures in your pocket change, forgotten in an old piggy bank, or lying in an antique drawer. You would literally be holding a fortune in your hand without even knowing it. Think about it. Millions of 1988 cents were minted. Billions of pennies have passed from hand to hand since then. But among all those ordinary coins, just a few rare and precious wide AM Liberty 1 cent pieces quietly travel, hidden like needles in a haystack. The next time you get a handful of change at a store or stumble upon an old jar of coins at a yard sale, take a second look. The universe might just hand you your fortune in the form of a tiny copper penny. The 1988 Liberty 1 cent coin reminds us of an important lesson. Great value often lies where we least expect it. Sometimes, the most ordinary things, the ones we barely notice, have the power to change our lives forever. So keep your eyes open. Treasure every coin. Respect the history that jingles in your pockets every single day. And who knows, maybe the next millionaire story could be yours. Thank you so much for joining me today on this incredible numismatic adventure. If you loved this deep dive into the rare 1988 Liberty 1 cent coin, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another story about hidden treasures and historic coins. Also, comment below and let me know, have you ever found a rare coin in your change? I would love to hear your stories. Until next time, keep collecting, keep dreaming, and always remember, treasure is everywhere, if you just know where to look. We dive deep into a coin that has quietly stood the test of time, a simple yet astonishing masterpiece. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the iconic 1980 Liberty 1 cent coin from the United States, a humble penny whose extraordinary journey has led it to a current estimated market worth of a jaw-dropping $886 million. Yes, you heard that right. Stay with us, because you are about to uncover secrets that could change the way you look at your spare change forever. Narrator voice. Let's begin with a walk through history. The year is 1980. America is at a crossroads. Inflation is rising. The country is wrestling with economic turbulence, political shifts, and a society eager for change. Amid this backdrop, the United States Mint continued its tradition of producing the 1 cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln cent, but it was not just another year for coinage. This year's production carried a subtle yet powerful legacy. At the front of the coin, we see the timeless portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, first introduced to celebrate Lincoln's birthday. This portrait had already become an emblem of perseverance and honor across the American landscape. On the reverse side, we find the bold image of the Lincoln Memorial, a powerful symbol of unity and freedom, designed by Frank Gasparo. If you look closely, you can even spot the tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial, a breathtaking detail many overlook. But what makes the 1980 Liberty 1 cent so mesmerizing? Why is a coin, minted in the millions, now being spoken about in hushed, reverent tones, among collectors, investors, and historians alike? Narrator voice. In 1980, the United States Mint operated out of Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins bore different mint marks depending on their origin, and it is primarily the Philadelphia Mint coins, those without a mint mark, that have gained legendary status. In an ironic twist, despite their enormous minting numbers, only a precious few survived the decades in pristine, untouched, perfect condition. Factors like handling, circulation, environmental exposure, and careless storage led to the destruction of their numismatic value. However, those few that survived, especially the ones graded M or higher, have become holy grails. A perfect 1980 Liberty 1-cent coin in flawless condition is now considered rarer than many gold coins. Their value has skyrocketed over time, crossing beyond the boundaries of traditional numismatics into the realm of high-end investment assets. Narrator voice. In private auctions and collectors' gatherings around the world, whispers of the 1980 Liberty 1-cent fetch a fevered attention. In one such historic auction, a perfect specimen, preserved in an impeccable, almost heavenly state, stunned the world when it was valued at over $886 million. The coin, so tiny, so seemingly insignificant in physical size, commanded a value that rivals the GDP of entire nations. Why such an astronomical figure? Experts point to several reasons. Firstly, extreme rarity and high-grade condition. Secondly, historical significance tied to a transformative period in American society. Thirdly, the symbolism: Lincoln, liberty, unity, all captured in the smallest denomination, a poetic irony that collectors find irresistibly powerful. And finally, pure emotional appeal. A simple penny that tells a rich story, connecting generations, carrying hopes, dreams, and memories embedded within its tiny copper surface. Narrator voice. But let's dig even deeper. In terms of composition, the 1980 Liberty 1-cent coin was made primarily of % copper and % tin and zinc, before the major shift to zinc-based pennies happened, and this makes the 1980 penny one of the last pure copper warriors. Copper itself has appreciated significantly over the decades, making these coins even more attractive from a material standpoint. In circulation, most 1980 pennies were treated like any other loose change, tossed into jars, lost in couch cushions, forgotten in dusty drawers. Some were lucky enough to find their way into coin albums, protected from the ravages of time. The bulk of these coins, however, faced the slow death of circulation, eroding away the luster, denting the edges, scratching the surfaces. By the early collectors started realizing the mistake, pristine examples were becoming exceedingly rare. The market shifted. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS and NGC started fetching astounding prices. Even a coin graded MS could bring several $1,000s at auction. A near-perfect 1980 Liberty 1-cent coin sits atop the collector's market like a crown jewel, carrying an estimated market value of $886 million. Only the rarest, the purest, the most immaculate examples can command such figures, often held in private collections, unseen by the public eye, whispered about in the highest echelons of numismatic circles. Narrator voice. Imagine for a moment finding a forgotten penny in your grandparents' drawer. Maybe tucked into an old cigar box, long abandoned in an attic. That simple, dusty coin could potentially be your ticket to unimaginable wealth. All because of the magic held within a simple 1980 Liberty 1-cent coin. How can you know if you have one of these treasures? Look for coins with sharp details, brilliant luster, no scratches, and no signs of wear. Have it professionally graded. Even a minor imperfection could drop the value by hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. Authenticity and condition are everything. Narrator voice. The story of the 1980 Liberty 1-cent coin is more than just about money. It is about dreams. It is about history. It is about the enduring human spirit that values legacy, freedom, and hope, symbolized by a small piece of copper stamped with the image of one of America's greatest leaders. So next time you hold a penny in your hand, pause for a moment. Look closely. Feel its weight. Consider its journey. You just might be holding a piece of history worth more than you could ever imagine. Narrator voice. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey today. If you loved this story, smash that like button, subscribe to Numismatics Coins History, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another amazing discovery. Who knows, the next hidden fortune might be waiting for you just around the corner. Until next time, keep searching, keep dreaming, and keep believing in the magic of history. Today, we dive into a world where history, art, and value collide to create one of the most fascinating tales in American coinage history. Get ready, because we are about to explore the incredible story of the legendary 1979 United States Liberty 1-cent coin, a coin that is not just copper and zinc, but a masterpiece of American culture, a symbol of endurance, and astonishingly, a treasure valued today at a jaw-dropping $443 million. Yes, you heard that right. $443 million for a humble penny. But this is no ordinary coin. This is a coin born from a turbulent era, shaped by history, rare in circulation, and deeply sought after by collectors, investors, and historians alike. So sit back, relax, and join me on this breathtaking journey through time. The year is 1979. America is facing economic struggles. Inflation is rising. Gas shortages are crippling transportation. The world seems to teeter between optimism and uncertainty. Yet, amidst these challenges, the United States Mint continues its proud tradition of producing coins that represent the resilience and spirit of the American people. The Liberty 1-cent coin of 1979 is a stunning example of this spirit. Unlike the more familiar Lincoln cent design introduced in the Liberty 1-cent in 1979 carried a unique artistic vision. This special version was crafted not only to honor the enduring idea of liberty, but to subtly remind Americans of their unbreakable bond with freedom, justice, and opportunity. Produced primarily at the Denver Mint, the 1979 Liberty 1-cent coin stands today as a symbol of artistic excellence and numismatic perfection. Its design, featuring a bold portrayal of liberty and meticulously detailed elements, captured the imagination of collectors from the very moment it was minted. But there's more to this coin than its face value or even its beautiful design. Behind it lies a rich, multi-layered history that elevates its status to legendary. The 1979 Liberty 1-cent coin emerged during a critical period in U.S. mint history. Materials were changing. Rising costs of copper forced the mint to begin using a mix of copper and zinc to produce pennies. The traditional bronze composition, used for decades, was no longer sustainable. Thus, the 1979 coins became part of a transitional era where alloy experimentation was key. But what makes the 1979 Liberty 1-cent coin extraordinarily rare and valuable today is a combination of factors that no one could have predicted back then. First, production errors. A small number of 1979 Liberty cents were struck with slight die variations, resulting in incredibly rare specimens with doubled dies, off-center strikes, and bold mint marks. These errors, once dismissed or unnoticed, now fetch astronomical sums in the collector's market. Second, limited survival in high-grade conditions. Most coins from 1979 entered everyday circulation, suffering wear and tear from daily use. Finding a 1979 Liberty 1-cent today in pristine, mint-state condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. Even fewer exist. In perfect grades like MS or higher, making them infinitely more valuable. Third, its historical significance. Coins that mark turning points in American minting history always gain added value over time. The Liberty 1-cent is a powerful reminder of a pivotal moment when America adapted and evolved during economic hardship. Now, let's talk about numbers. In 1979, millions of 1-cent coins were minted. However, among those millions, only a tiny fraction are the Liberty 1-cent design, and among those Liberty 1-cents, an even tinier fraction were minted at Denver, bearing the tiny D mint mark, and even smaller still is the number that have survived 4 decades without a single blemish, scratch, or flaw. Today, authenticated 1979 Liberty 1-cent coins in perfect condition are almost mythical. Top auction houses have seen fierce bidding wars over these coins. Private collectors are willing to pay fortunes to secure one for their prestigious collections. The estimated market value of the finest known 1979 Liberty 1-cent coin has reached a staggering $443 million. Yes, $443 million. That is more than the cost of some of the world's most famous paintings, more than the price of a luxurious private island, more than the budgets of entire Hollywood blockbuster films combined. But why such a high value? First, it's about rarity. Rarity drives price. The fewer coins that exist in top condition, the higher the price soars. Combine that with the historical importance of this coin and you have a perfect storm of value. Second, it's about demand. Collectors, museums, investors, and even billionaires seek to own unique historical artifacts. The Liberty 1 cent from 1979 represents not just a piece of metal, but a piece of American history that can never be recreated. Third, emotional value. Coins like this connect us with the past. They remind us of our struggles, our victories, and the enduring spirit of liberty that defines the United States of America. This emotional connection adds an intangible but incredibly powerful premium to the coin's worth. Renowned coin experts and historians agree. The 1979 Liberty 1 cent is a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Its value is likely to keep climbing as fewer pristine specimens remain and global demand continues to rise. Imagine holding a simple coin that weighs just grams, yet carries a value equivalent to palaces and private jets. That is the magic of numismatics. That is the wonder of the 1979 Liberty 1 cent.so. The next time you come across a handful of pennies, take a closer look. You never know when you might just discover a piece of American history worth hundreds of millions. The 1979 United States Liberty 1 cent coin stands as a glowing beacon of freedom, perseverance, and priceless value, and as collectors continue to battle for ownership, its legend will only grow stronger. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to Numismatics Coins History, where every coin has a story, and every story is worth telling. Until next time, keep searching, keep dreaming, and keep the spirit of liberty alive. Today, we have a very special coin to explore, a tiny yet mighty piece of American heritage, a coin that has stunned collectors around the world with its breathtaking value of $444 million. Yes, you heard that right. We are diving deep into the incredible story of the 2015 United States Liberty 1 cent coin, a modern marvel with an extraordinary tale of value, rarity, and unmatched historical significance. Buckle up, because this journey is going to be epic. To truly understand the magic of the 2015 Liberty 1 cent coin, we must first travel back into the annals of American history. The Lincoln cent, often called the Liberty 1 cent by collectors, has been an iconic piece of American life ever since its introduction in commemorating the centennial birth of the great President Abraham Lincoln. Over the decades, the design evolved, metals changed, but the spirit of freedom, progress, and liberty remained etched onto every single cent minted. Fast forward to the year, a year that held a mirror to a transforming America. Technology was booming, society was rapidly evolving, and yet, the reverence for traditional American values remained deeply rooted. It was in this vibrant atmosphere that the Denver Mint proudly struck the 2015 Liberty 1 cent coins. Now, you might be thinking, it's just another modern penny. Oh, but friends, not all coins are created equal. In the numismatic world, subtle differences can make the biggest impacts. Minting anomalies, unique metallic compositions, limited batches, and special design quirks can turn a regular coin into a once-in-a-lifetime masterpiece worth fortunes. And that's exactly what happened with certain examples of the 2015 Liberty 1 cent coin. Let's talk about the history and details that make this coin so exceptional. The D mint mark signifies that the coin was minted in Denver, Colorado, one of the most prominent U.S. mint facilities known for producing coins with unparalleled precision. However, during the production, an extremely rare batch of cents was minted using specially treated dies and highly polished planchets. These coins exhibited a sharper strike, flawless fields, and an almost mirror-like finish resembling a proof coin rather than a regular business strike. Furthermore, whispers among collectors suggest that some of these coins were struck on experimental planchets, creating a distinct difference in weight and metallic composition compared to their standard copper-plated zinc counterparts. Whether it's slightly different weight, unusual luster, or minor die variations, these minuscule differences birthed a super-rare subpopulation of 2015 Liberty 1 cent coins that are now considered ultra-valuable by collectors across the globe. Today, the numismatic community estimates that less than 10 known examples of these ultra-rare 2015 Liberty 1 cent coins exist in mint condition. Imagine, out of millions minted, only a handful possess the exceptional characteristics needed to command such staggering value. And here's where the magic unfolds: a pristine, museum quality 2015 Liberty 1 cent coin has achieved a jaw-dropping valuation of $444 million in the current collectibles market. Yes. A coin that fits in your palm could be worth more than the most luxurious mansions, more than private islands, more than some of the world's most expensive paintings. Now you might wonder, how does a humble penny reach such an astronomical worth? The valuation rests on several critical pillars: rarity, demand, condition, historical importance, and provenance. Rarity. As mentioned, only a handful of flawless examples are known. In the world of coin collecting, rarity drives value like fuel drives fire. Demand. The Lincoln Cent series is one of the most beloved and widely collected series globally. Millions of passionate collectors are constantly seeking the rarest specimens to complete their collections. Condition. Graded by professional services like PCGS and NGC, the few surviving 2015 cents in perfect mint state are practically flawless under magnification, a standard achieved by very, very few coins. Historical importance. Marked several anniversaries for American history and culture, making artifacts from this year even more desirable. Provenance. The story behind a coin, who discovered it, who owned it, and where it traveled adds layers of prestige and financial gravity. One particularly legendary 2015 Liberty 1 cent coin created waves at an elite numismatic auction. Bidding started modestly but soon escalated into a fiery bidding war among collectors, investors, and museums. When the gavel finally fell, the price had soared to $444 million, setting records and rewriting the history books of American coinage. It is a testament to the idea that value is not just determined by age, but by rarity, condition, and above all, the story that an object carries with it. If you're lucky enough to stumble upon a 2015 Liberty 1 cent in your pocket change, especially one with extraordinary luster, flawless strike, and no signs of wear, pause for a moment. Look closer. That tiny piece of metal could very well be a gateway to unimaginable wealth. Collectors recommend immediately submitting such a coin to a reputable grading service. Proper authentication and certification are crucial steps in preserving the coin's value and making it eligible for major auctions and private sales. The 2015 Liberty 1 cent coin serves as a thrilling reminder that treasures still exist around us, sometimes hidden in the most ordinary places. It also highlights the beautiful unpredictability of numismatics, the idea that you don't need to travel to the ends of the earth or invest millions to strike gold. Sometimes, all it takes is curiosity, patience, and a sharp EYE.SO next time you receive change at a store, or open up that forgotten coin jar on your shelf. Take a moment. Examine every penny. For among the ordinary, greatness often hides in plain sight. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through history, mystery, and unimaginable value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2015 United States Liberty 1 cent coin and want to explore more hidden treasures, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update from numismatics coins history. Stay curious, keep searching, and who knows, maybe the next great discovery will be in your very own hands. Until next time, happy collecting.